All right, well, listen, I know we have a lot more names to talk about to fill your fantasy lineup, but it's not just about NASCAR fantasy each and every week. It's also about the NASCAR Props Challenge. Every week you go on 10 prop bets. You can play up to 10. You don't have to play 10. For every one you get right, you get a point. Every one you get wrong, you lose a point. So you can hypothetically finish in the negative like I did a few weeks ago at -6.
You have multiple times this year.
Yeah, not just one.
Thanks. So
Glosses right past
we're only gonna relive Richmond real quick to say I got +6, which is a big day for me, and I'm gonna move on from that. Let's talk about, because you guys didn't.
But I'm going to bring it up multiple times.
Yeah, well, listen. So now let's talk about the Props Challenge upcoming. So, Regan, these we half go through the numbers, but these are just gut decisions. I like
gut decisions.
Yeah, so here you go. This is a perfect one. In his career, Ryan Blaney has scored stage points in every Talladega stage. Will his streak continue?
Wow. I'm going to say
No.
No way.
No, that's an easy no. Oh, speaking of which, what was the one from Richmond that we thought was easy?
Wait, we're saying
forgot.
stage
Truex
points.
went over on the stage points.
No, there was one that we said it had to pick, and if nobody picked it.
It was Harvick.
No, it was the Kyle Busch win. No, it was the Harvick.
It was Harvick top 10, and he did. He was like 4th or 5th.
Yeah, and we said it was will Harvick run on the top 10, and I'm like, if anybody picks no, they're going to be the only one. If he has an issue, they're going to definitely get it all. Sorry, I digress.
So you picked it.
So I got that one right. All right, so will Blaney score points in both stages?
And you were +6 also.
Yeah.
I've learned quick here.
No, he's not going to score in both stages.
In
I'll go-
both stages. All he's got to do is be top 10 in both stages.
Oh, we're
He's
less
been good
convinced
there.
on the center.
I'm not as convinced. Listen, of all the Penske guys, if there's somebody that I'm really high on, it's Ryan Blaney. I think he's as good as any of them on the speedways, the aggressive moves that he can make and what he can do. Now, to argue my fact, I also have already said I don't think you can manipulate the pack like you have in races past, so that's going to make it more difficult for him. But I wouldn't have a problem. Taking that
I'm
bet.
a firm no at this. Regan disagrees, which I like. RJ,
I'm with Regan on this one.
oh, that's
I'm a
no
yes.
surprise.
I'm a yes.
No surprise.
I mean,
We're
did you
moving
really
on. We're
have
done.
to ask?
We're done with Ryan Blaney. How about this one? The last 6 races at Talladega have seen an average of 26 lead changes. The over-under for Sunday is 26.5. I'm taking the big over. I think this is going to go back to – it's not going to look like the last 6 or 7 speedway races. We have all been programmed. These cars have been reducing drag, reducing power, reducing drag, reducing power. It looked like the mid-'90s, early '90s, which is you have to be, A, very good at drafting.
Right.
But if you get a good car out front with a talented driver and a good spotter, not to mention a teammate behind you, game over. There's no lead changes. This time, that is not going to happen. We are going to see, I'm not going to say a record, but an enormous amount of lead changes. So I think over 26.5. Go ahead. You're going to tell me it's crazy. It's never happened.
Well, you led me down the wrong road on this a couple weeks ago, so I'm going the under.
Under.
I'm not going to take that personal, but go ahead. Well, you just can't say it. Tell the fans at home why you're taking the under.
Where was it? Las Vegas, where we thought there was going to be 30 lead changes, and
Yeah, I got the under that week.
yeah. Well, that's not what you told us here.
You could set the over-under at 30, and I would still take it. You could probably set it at 35, and I would still take the over on that right now. This, to me, we're backtracking right now to 2008, 9, 10, 11, the kind of that time frame where we saw some wild and crazy racing, and we saw the pack doing things that we haven't seen before. I think we see that again this weekend.